When it's late in the morning and you're getting hungry, which lunch gets you excited the most?
Is it multiple choice or I get to pick my own?
No, you pick your own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So late in the morning. So we talking about like brunch.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You haven't eaten breakfast, and I want to know which lunch is going to get you the most excited.
It'll probably be a. It'll probably be a sandwich. It'll probably be a sandwich. If we don't like have the works for like a turkey and cheese type of sandwich, then I can always go to peanut butter and jelly. Strawberry jelly.
You take strawberry jelly over strawberry jam?
That's a good question. Mm. I would say they just about even.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All
As long you know what? As long as it's strawberry.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of Take a Space Podcast. I am your host, Leah, and we are joined today by Baylor
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
of On the Run. On No,
I'm not on the run.
I'm not. I keep saying On the Run.
Hey,
Why?
it's okay though because you are not the only person that does that.
But why do I keep saying On the Run?
Because you think I'm a criminal. That's why it's a stereotype West Coast cats get. Like you automatically think we carjacking. You think we out. You think we out here carjacking cats and gang banging and stuff like that. So you think I'm on the run?
No, that can't be all of it.
Yeah, that's some
That,
of it.
that can't be all. Like why? Like I just can't. I can't. I keep saying On the Run every time I see it. Every time I see the letters, I'm just like, yeah, On the Run with Baylor the Great.
You just skip over the P and the E in that
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
It's cool.
I don't.
Hey, you
I don't
you could
understand.
you could do that. You're allowed to do that because you are closer to perfection than a lot of these people. So I'll give you that. But there's been some cats like for the first time I've been on these, like my first time meeting them, and they'll be like, yeah, BTG for president. Sometimes they even screw up BTG. They'd be like B2G. And I'd be like, what kind of dance group is that? Like, nigga, like,
But
no.
it's Baylor the Great though. Like
I don't know. But I have told them like, look, I'm not on a run from anybody. But it's open run with BTG.
listen, I don't know why I got like I think it's the O and the R that just makes me put a T there. It's like On the Run. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
no, I even though it's just OR, I was just like, I don't know why.
And,
But
and
yeah.
shout and shout out to OTR, which is off the record,
Yeah.
podcast. You know what I mean? But
I
they're
like
off
those
the
guys. Those
yeah
guys are really nice.
they're off the record, and I'm open Jill.
Well, thank you so much for coming and chopping it up with me today. I truly appreciate it. I met you back in August, July, something like that.
you know,
I want to say it
uh,
was July.
it was, let's put it like this. It was one of those random Zoom groups that anybody had put together, and I used to come in there quiet. Filling out the room, and what I used to do was change my background all the time.
Yes, I remember.
That's what I used to do, and then yeah, that's how we got introduced. And I remember there was a couple. I ain't gonna lie, I almost left y'all alone because it was. I think I came in during the time period where it was too much like serious debates.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a lot of political stuff. It was a lot of male versus female stuff, and I'm like, but it's too serious. And then after that, it just got stupid, and I loved it after that. And then like we just became this one big family. Like it's damn near we talk almost every day.
That's true. That's one thing that I was surprised about, that we've actually like stayed in contact, not even just through group chat, but just individually, like reaching out to each other and stuff like that. Like
Yep.
I was surprised.
Between text messages, IG, Zoom, stereo, just being on each other's shows, creating shows together.
Yeah.
You know, like it took off pretty fast with less than a year. I think
Yeah.
that's pretty dope.
That it's been 6, not even what, 5 months.
Yeah, not even.
Yeah.
Not even, because
Like
even that first month, besides the people that actually stayed, because I think I want to say the bulk is in Texas,
yeah.
in Houston. Before that month, we were still getting kind of familiar with each other and stuff like that, like still introducing certain people, learning what our jobs are and things like that. Now we just one big ass family that's waiting to see each other in person.
Yo, that's honestly one thing that I'm really appreciative of is this year. It was a step of faith of just like I saw Peabody's tweet. Don't know how I saw it because I wasn't following him at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it just came across my feed on Twitter, and it was just like, hey, join for Black podcasters just having conversation or whatever. And it was just like 9 people in the chat.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, okay, so does everybody know everybody? And it's just like some of them were like, no, this is my first time here.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Oh.
I didn't know anybody besides Peabody. So when I walked in there, it was like walking into a classroom and everybody
Right.
looking at me. And I'm like, hey, I know Peabody. Y'all know him too? Yeah.
I knew no one. I was just like, oh, this is okay. But I'm glad that I actually did it because I had nothing else to do. Really, we were in quarantine.
Yeah.
But what are some things that you have gained from this year?
Through meeting you guys, or just in general?
In general, because people talk about how 2020 is so bad, it's so this, it's so that. But I think that we neglect to mention the things we gained. We're so focused on everything that we lost, and how we've been, pushed back to the starting line, or some people have been propelled, but they don't want to talk about it. And other people who are just like, man, this is one of the best years of my life, feel like they have to stay quiet about it because they don't want to feel like they're raining on someone else's parade. So what are a couple things that you have gained from this year that you're like, yeah, these are a couple things that I can look to?
I tapped into my creative side a lot. So during the pandemic, we just, like everybody else did in America, they bought up a gang of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? From subscribing to different platforms to watch different type of content, to purchasing a Cricut and a Peloton bike, just all kind of just random shit. And then when I first bought the Cricut, I bought it for my wife. And she was the one that was like the mastermind behind it, but she was actually still learning. And I think, I'm not even sure if she actually did it or she did it and didn't do nothing with it, but she actually was supposed to like do like a Cricut class to learn how to properly use the Cricut and stuff like that. I did not take the class, nothing. It was a lot of trials and errors that I did. But now I use the Cricut like 90 times more than her. I've become this underground Cricut master. Again, shout out to YouTube University. I'll be graduating soon, y'all. But that's what I have. That's what I picked up, was just cutting out the middleman for a lot of creative things that I've come up with. So yeah, 2020 was bad because it canceled out a lot of milestones for me and for people close to me. Graduations, family reunions, live podcast live shows that I was going to be the host of. And then, it cut out a lot of it. With that being said, it cut out a lot of traveling because I was supposed to go to New Orleans this year. I was supposed to, and I go to Vegas every year for the Summer League. I was supposed to I go to Vegas every year in general, but I was supposed to go to Vegas for the Summer League and for a live show that I was supposed to be the host of. Um, there was a couple of other places I was supposed to fly out to, and that just didn't happen. Now I did go to Vegas this year and to Phoenix this year when I wasn't supposed to, but it just wasn't like how it was planned to be. So it did cancel a lot of plans, but I picked up on a craft that eventually started to make some money on the side, and just to keep me sane. And it wasn't even a craft that I was looking to make money off of. I was just exercising my talents, and then I posted one thing, and then it just took off, and then now my anxiety is high.
Sir, okay, for y'all who don't know, and I know I've said this to Baylor multiple times in private, so y'all get to hear it publicly. This dude is so creative and he doesn't even know it. But I was able to get a shirt and a hoodie, and I have another order that's coming on the way. He doesn't know it yet, but now he does. Uh,
Anxiety.
but my hoodie, y'all saw it on my IG and on my Twitter. And my t-shirt that he created that. I was just like, I want merch. He said, okay, got you. And that's really what it was. And when I got it, when I tell y'all, this is no lie, I got it, and when I saw Take a Space Melanin, I was just like, he gets me. I don't even understand why I'm crying right now, but this is so good. Like, and I'm not even like hyping you up or anything. It's just your dedication to your gift, your attention to detail in your craft has made you stand above other people. Now, if we could work on helping you get your anxiety together so that we can actually
but
have
let me tell
merch.
you where it comes from. Is because I want to be able to please the customers, right?
Okay.
And what you may know, and Drake may know, and everybody else that I have actually sold to before, I've probably told you this. A lot of people don't understand is that I'm doing it by myself.
Right.
And I don't have anything just in the closet stocked up ready to be shipped out. I'm making everything one by one. Every shirt, hoodie design, I'm doing it one by and literally doing it, not just ordering it from a company, putting it on a shirt and then just pressing it on there. No, I have to go in there and manually type in whatever the word is going to be, look for the image, make sure it's a what do they call it, a SVG, so it can be able to be in the cut form, so I can be able to cut it through my Cricut. And I'm working on some other ways too. And then I have to peel it out. I got to make sure I don't mess up on that. I have to measure it on the shirt. I have to measure it on the hoodie. When I go and buy the products, I got to make sure. What a lot of people don't know is the place I'm getting it from. Because I'm getting a discount, I realize why it's a discount, because I have to go through every shirt and hoodie and make sure there's no holes or anything like that. And I want to make sure the material is, I don't want you to support me because of me. I want you to support me and say, this was worth supporting. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
that
saying?
hoodie is so soft. Oh, that hoodie is so soft, and that shirt fits just right. Let me tell you.
And that's where my anxiety comes from, because I'm like, I don't want just no, I can go get a $1.68 hoodie from Gildan or whatever, and I could profit. But that's not what I'm trying to do. Don't get me wrong. I want to be paid for my creativity, but
Mhm.
at the same time, I want them to be like, damn, I'm still wearing this a year from now. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's some shirts that I bought from podcasters where, and they already know, and I've told them, I was like, yeah, I wore your shit once or twice. But it was more about me giving you money and supporting you than me just actually rocking it, because after a few washes, that shit was like putting on some cement.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I mean, and that's because I took time to just figure out where to get these shirts from, the soft shirts, you know what I'm saying, the tri blends, and the percentages of the polyester and the cotton and the ring spun and all that shit. And I'm like, I graduated school a long time ago. I should not be enrolled into YouTube University. It takes time out of my sweet day. I'm really trying to listen to music and watch documentaries and shit like that. But now I got to figure out where to place the shit on the mat or the cricket, how this will take on this material, all kind of stuff, man.
And people don't, and I know Drake had mentioned it previously about you doing um just even a quick reel of all the work that it takes to go that goes into creating just the one. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But I feel like when people are just like, "Oh man, $35 is a lot for a t-shirt." And it's like just listening to you explain all the stuff that you're doing cuz you and this is without overhead.
Yeah, like
It's just you.
they don't even know how much they don't like. I tweeted a couple of weeks ago. I was like, I'm no longer like beefing with like cats in the streets. I'm beefing with the Beckys that's out here buying up all the good vinyl. That's who I'm beefing with. Like that's where I'm at in my life, where I have to hurry up to get to Michael's or I forgot what the other joint is called, but or Joann's and Michael's and all these other crafting companies. I'm trying to get to them first before the Beckys get to them because they buying
Uh
up all the good shit. You know what I mean? And the average person not gonna tell you what's the difference between a vinyl cut, iron on. I forgot what the other joint is called, but it's just it's really difficult. And I'm the person that's I got to do everything. Like I have to be the whole company. I wish I had a team. You know what I mean? That could
yeah.
break this shit down. They have their department. I got my department. I got 650 million ideas, but they're all going at the same time. And it's like, and my wife used to tell me all the time, she's like, maybe you should hold on to that one because somebody might steal it. But I'm like, I got so much shit in my head that I don't know which to share or what not to share. You know what I mean? And it's like I hate sitting on it. Like if anything is going to bother me is having a creative idea and I'm just sitting on it. It's gonna bother me.
Like, are you talking about when you say sit on it, like not drawing it or creating it or not
Eh,
putting it out to the public?
like both. So like I keep my notes or whatever. So I keep my notes and I make sure if I like you gave me a dope idea last night, you didn't even know it. And I had wrote it in my notes. Yeah,
Well,
so
you're
that
welcome.
yeah, I listen because my thing is besides the pictures, I love wordplay. You know what I mean? So that's why you'll get a mafioso, but it's not spelled the way you think that it's spelled.
Hmm.
But it's going to look how you might sound it out. So I
Yeah.
so I in other words, I've created my own language.
Yes. Your Baylorisms.
Yeah, my Baylorisms, and people have ran with it. So I didn't know a lot of people knew about Yomi because Yomi was something that me and my guys created in high school, and it was just a word to describe fellatio. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it was just a random word. So when we was in Clubhouse and Drake said that I needed a Yomi sweater, and then some people reacted to it. I was like, well, what y'all know about Yomi? Like, how did that spread? Like, that was something I made up 20 years ago. You know what I mean?
Look, I feel like with slang, it with slang, just like with other things in life, like it's really how you take it. And with this whole year, people have chosen to look at things from a negative perspective. So even when we've been on or I don't know if you've been on Clubhouse that much, but when I've been on Clubhouse or even Twitter, people always want to highlight the negative and blame it on the year. They did the same thing in 2016, did the same thing in 2018, did the same thing in 2019, and they're oh no, 2020 has got to be great. But I feel like putting so much pressure on a person, even like I'll say myself, putting pressure on myself to essentially try to control the outcome of what happens between January and December of a given year
Mm-hmm.
is a surefire way to create um a very anxious person.
Mm-hmm.
where you feel like you have to constantly be doing something to one up, previously.
Yeah.
One thing that I found this year is that I have grown so much emotionally,
Yeah.
and I've grown so much spiritually. I've grown so much professionally in starting the business and things like that. What are some things that you can look back on these last 12 months? And whether you're talking to your kids or talking to your friends, or if you're just motivating people out there, where you're like, look, regardless of what happens, because if you've made it this far in 2020, you can go so much further by focusing on your square, on your space. So what are some pieces of advice that you've received, or piece of advice that you would give to people who feel like they just can't see the bright side?
The piece of advice that I've gotten was from 2020 in general. The piece of advice that I would give is to go watch the movie Soul. But
Okay.
I'll get to that in a minute. But 2020 has basically has forced me to know that every moment matters. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Especially when it comes to family. Like 2020 has been so rocky and so long that you still got to remember we lost Kobe this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it felt like it was so long ago,
Hmm.
but it still hurts. We lost the Black Panther this year. You know what I'm saying? That hurts. You know what I mean? So not only that, the fact that they really don't know how to control this virus.
Right.
And I got to go back home to my kids and my family, and every day you're thinking about it, because every day is not your normal life anymore, because now when you get out of the car you can't forget your mask, and there's different levels of masks to wear,
Yeah.
from the $5 ones that you could buy on the corner with your favorite team on there, all the way to the N95s. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's a difference. And then in the field that I work in, I have to be extra careful, because I'm not only worried about my family, but I got to take care of other people as well. You know what I mean? So that's what it has shown me, that like life is just important. All this, differences that you may have with people in your personal relationship, with podcasters, you don't like your job or something like that. Like, you got to put that to the side and understand that you could be going like that, which leads me into the movie Soul, where, something in your life arrives and it makes you so happy, and then you lose it in a split second.
Right.
And then you start to realize that you do have a purpose on this planet. You know what I'm saying? You got a purpose amongst these people that you meet, and even more importantly, you have a purpose with your family. At the end of the day, all this other stuff, even with like all these shirts and hoodies that I create, these podcast episodes and stuff like that, all that stuff can be set to the side. I just want to make sure I make it home at the end of the day.
I think you said it. This year has really forced a lot of people to figure out what's important to them.
Hmm.
Like, you see exactly what's important to you. If you say that you didn't have time to take care of this, that, or the third, now you have time to do it. Now you don't have an excuse, and you're still not doing it. So it forced a lot of honest conversations, I feel like. And I think I've talked about it a little bit on the show, like how it helped me to get closer to my siblings and even their kids. But I feel like a lot of people still find a way to make excuses to not do whatever it is they feel they need to do. It's like, if you want to, you know, learn how to cook, if you want to start a business, if you want to grow your network, if you don't
Hmm.
want to be at your dead end job anymore because you just want to be happy doing whatever it is you're doing. And to your point about the movie Soul, um, it's not just about, finding a specific purpose,
Mhm.
but it's about wanting to be here, wanting to live, wanting more than you had yesterday.
Yep. Yep. And
Little
and
by little
and,
change.
and sacrifice, because at one point he gave up and said, you know what, like, you have more to live for
Yeah.
because you never lived. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I had the chance to, and I'm okay. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So that just shows the sacrifice for someone that he didn't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I
It was
mean?
Angela Bassett's line. She played Dorothea in the movie.
Yeah,
For those who don't know, Angela Bassett's line where she tells a story about the fish looking for the ocean.
that was a cold line.
I feel like that sums up a lot of where a lot of people are, and I think that's why it hits home for a lot of people,
Mhm.
because you're so busy searching for something that you forget to take a look around where you actually are,
Right.
or you think what you're searching for is so different from what you have that you negate, like those people who like leave their family to go start a family somewhere else, or who, jump ship from this company or that friendship or this relationship, or I know people who have a family who loves them but choose to be with friends who couldn't care less if anything happens to them, tomorrow.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Because they want to impress. They want to impress people that basically don't care about you. How, some of your family members do,
yeah, and
but
it's
they
just
don't
about
get
where you
that.
put that energy. It's like, well, y'all don't know me. Well, did you give your family the opportunity to know you?
Right.
Are you as invested in your family? And not saying that all families are amazing, but I think that at least they should be given the opportunity to act like a family.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now that we have all this time, stimulus check or not, we have we if nothing else, we have time.
Yeah. Yeah. They force cats to see, like, cats started to work from home, and then that trickled down to the kids. Now the kids have homeschooling, so now you know.
Yeah.
Now
You
you
know you
know.
know what your kids have been doing in school. You
Yep.
can't keep blaming the teacher on your child's behavior. My last question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh January 31st, 2021.
Okay.
If you could congratulate yourself for completing something at that time, a month from now, what
Uh,
would you be congratulating yourself for?
I would say continuing to be a husband and a father.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, we already know the narrative about black men in general. I wasn't supposed to reach 18.
Right.
I wasn't supposed to go to, if I wasn't supposed to reach 18, I wasn't supposed to go to college. I wasn't supposed to have a successful marriage. None of that. I was
Or
supposed to,
career.
I was supposed to have been dead and gone, or even
Yeah.
locked up,
Yeah.
before I even graduated high school. So, um, more so that than anything, I'm just happy to be here.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
I could be an introvert real quick. I don't have to be around. I don't have to talk to nobody or anything like that. The only thing is, that's not my personality completely. Like, I enjoy talking with people, and even having friendly debates or creating things. I love doing that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I can go home, lock my door, shut the blinds, and watch a movie by my goddamn self. And I probably enjoy, I mean, besides watching the scary movies with y'all, I probably enjoy watching movies by myself because I just do. Like, you know what? I think it's more so because I grew up watching a lot of movies by myself.
Okay.
Because
I
I've
like
actually,
watching by myself so I'm not interrupted.
yeah, I mean that, and I mean sometimes I would hit up my homeboy. We play around. We call it a bro date, where we'll go out. A new scary movie will come out, and I know it's only two people in this world besides Drake and Leah now that will actually be like, "Yo, that Freddy came out. You want to go see it?" And we will actually go watch it. 2 seats apart,
Yeah.
but we in there on a date.
I mean, that's what, because I'm used to, and that's one thing that I'm really sad about. I know we have lost like that. Oh, the loss that we've experienced this year has been hard. From a celebrity standpoint to a personal standpoint, but I feel like the one thing that really has affected me was not being able to go out and socialize with people, but also just not being able to go to the movie theaters. That was
Right.
like my that was my escape from reality. Like going bowling, going to the theaters, all this stuff going out. But going to the theaters, that's something that I did faithfully every week. Every
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, have $5 Tuesday at AMC, get your
Mm.
steps fast, and go see a movie.
Yep.
But I haven't been to the movies in almost a year.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't even tell you the last movie, the last time I went to the movie theater. I know it had to be, it could have been this year. I can't think. And if it was this year, it had to be anywhere between January and March. So I can't think of a movie that came out around that time where I was like, yeah, we're going to go to the movies and actually go
Valentine's
to.
Day. Let's see. Issa Rae, The Photograph.
I didn't go to the movies to go see that.
That was my sister wants to see it, but that was the last movie that I saw. I thought I wanted to see it, and then my other sister really wanted to see it, and my other sister was like, I guess we can.
Mm.
And I thought that it would have been better, but I forgot that it was a chick flick. So I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, it was a good
Yeah,
movie, but it was just like very romantic
yeah,
comedy. Like,
yeah, yeah.
okay. I mean, I thought it was a pretty good storyline. It was decent to me. But that was the last movie I think that I saw, and that was like around my birthday.
Mm. So yeah, that's been. I mean, obviously it was right before the pandemic hit, so
Yeah.
that was for sure a minute ago. I think, but I've been catching word that some movie theaters have a lot of AMC's have been open though.
So they were trying to, because what we were going to do is buy out a theater for the kids
Mhm.
to watch one of the old movies because they were playing those down in Texas. But the theater that we were going to go to, like the week before I got here, sent out an email to everyone and said that they're closing their doors until they can get relief from the pandemic.
Right, 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 right,
And
right.
a lot of the AMC, they don't really have a ton of AMC's this way. A lot of them are East Coast. Um, yeah, pretty much. A lot of them are East Coast. But it's just been every time I think I find a theater that I can go to, either they're closing or they have like their times are so spread apart that it wouldn't even make any sense to really go. So
Right, right.
it kind of, mm,
Yeah.
yeah, it kind of sucks. But yeah, do you have anything to promote right before we get out of here?
I would say as of right now, the one thing that I've actually been excited about is I've been wanting a lot more people to be involved with black horror humor.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because finding out that a lot of people do watch scary movies that's our complexion is like fascinating. I actually look forward to Sunday nights. Um, it's just, because I have my two podcasts that I do every week and I enjoy them, but I also do those podcasts by myself. You know what I
true.
mean?
Yeah.
And so when, on top of watching the movie, which may or may not be good, shout out to Drake. Yeah.
Oh, like,
Shout hey,
and
I,
with
it,
oh
I love Drake. I love Drake because the one thing about Drake is he gonna fight. He gonna fight for that movie.
yes, he's
He
like this
go,
movie absolutely A plus. I'm like,
yeah, he
did
gonna
we
fight
watch
for.
the same thing? I need to
Hey,
be on whatever you're on because I don't think we saw the same movie.
yeah, because Drake, we have to actually find out uh how many movies I fell asleep to that you picked. I'm just gonna, and you know what? And that's also a combination of us, staying up late and there has been times where I didn't get enough sleep that day. You know what I mean? So it's not completely on you, but
Uh,
some of us is like some of them is like,
I don't know, because the movies that I think were movies that even if I didn't see it, like let's see, there was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, the
yeah,
2013 remake,
yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
The one
That's
with
when
the
you,
Rangers,
yeah, that's when you had LeBron. That's when
terrible.
you had LeBron James as Leatherface. You know
I
what I mean?
was like, because I'm looking at it, I was like, I don't think I've seen. Oh no, I didn't want to watch this. No, I
Yeah,
didn't. Or
yeah,
even because he even tried to get me to watch Hereditary, and I was like, nope, I don't do possession movies. Anything demonic, I don't play around with that stuff. I don't need that floating around in my head or in my house. I just don't need that. But
yeah.
yeah, y'all make sure y'all check out Black Horror Humor. It's Black Horror Humor on Instagram and BHH Podcast on Twitter. We every Sunday have watched since September. We've watched a horror movie, and we put out the episodes every weekend, and
Mhm.
it's been fun. I can say that it's been fun. We get into our debates. We get into, especially when we get into our scenarios.
Mhm.
We have found out very quickly that all Baylor cares about is getting home to his family. We will get left. We even talked about the importance of having a close relationship so that if there was a case of invasion of the body snatchers, we'll be able to tell each other apart
Yeah.
and understand what we would do sober minded in a scenario. Um, Baylor's not going into the house at all, not even first, just not at all. He's
And look, I've
not
watched
at all.
too many horror flicks to know that. Look, and then look, we've already, and the cool part about it is this is why I want more people to be involved, so we can figure out how they're going to die in the scary movie,
Yeah.
or what they would do. They've already said I'm gonna be the emotional death, so
Yes.
I don't know whether I should cry because that's a big scene, or it's like, damn, I actually got to die like this.
Like you would be the person that would start act 3. Like you have been with us through the first 2 acts of the movie, and it's your death that causes the emotional breakdown of the characters to level up in their character arc. um I have women privilege, so there's a chance
There's a
that
chance that you might make it.
yeah, that I'll either make it or it is going to be fighting tooth and nail to the
Yeah,
bitter end.
almost like a sacrifice,
Yes.
honorable sacrifice.
Like, and I think that another thing that we found out is that there has to be a surety that you two are going to make it if I sacrifice myself. Because
Yeah,
I'll be doggone if I
and
sacrifice myself and y'all don't make it.
that leaves me because everybody knows we just finished watching a movie with the perfect jock, right?
Yeah.
And even though Drake tries to push this whole back because I am a basketball player, that's cool, but I'm not a jock though. And he's more built like a jock. He's the more brolic one. We already know the brolic one is going to die too.
Yeah.
Like Drake is not going to make it at all. I'm sorry, he's just not.
No, because Drake's death is the death that we understand. Oh, so regardless of what we throw at it, the entity is going to take out whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
Like that's like Drake's death is going to be the death where we found out the real power of the entity.
Yep. Yep. It's going like it's just set tripping.
Yeah, so
Set
I
tripping.
mean, brute strength isn't gonna do it, so we got to try to like outsmart it. And so we have a lot of good conversations. We have we actually have like script ideas, movie ideas. So directors, actors, producers. If y'all want to reach out to us,
Yeah.
feel free. But I would appreciate if all y'all can just make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter and check out our episodes on YouTube, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and
Yeah.
I forget which other ones. Yes, but I'm sure those of all those.
I would say mainly. I would say if you want to find us on any other platform, just come to the ones that we're on the most, which is probably for me Twitter and IG.
Yeah.
And then from there you'll get connected. I mean, even if you want to get connected with the dysfunctional family, you
Yeah.
know, you know what I mean. Like you can go. It's so many avenues that, and especially like if you in certain states, like if you're in Texas. Like they still out there like partying like it's 1999. You know what I'm saying?
Every weekend though. Every
Shout out to
weekend.
DB and Humvee, the truck cast, and shout out to Jay. Shout out to Divorce as Fuck. Shout out to Don. She for sure gonna be twerking.
Yeah.
And
Don's
who?
in Dallas, Peabody out
Oh
here as well.
yeah, all of them.
We got Mike. Oh, Mike is in Michigan though, and then Drake is in Seattle.
Mike will catch. He will catch a flight to Houston real quick for that 1999 throwdown. You know what I mean?
Listen. I'm telling you, it's been man, this year has been a wild ride. I'm glad that I've been able to connect. Like, and I just started this podcast in July, so just getting started in July and having the connections that I've had, having the support system that I have. I am super appreciative. I'm glad that I get to end the year with you as a guest because you've been like, not only are you from California, born and raised, but you've been just like a couple of other people, even more of an inspiration to be like, not afraid to try my talents out, not even just for purchase or not just for clout or anything. It's just like, well, can I do this? Let me see. And then just trying it out just to see if it, and a lot of times it does work. It is good. Like the whole Black Horror Humor podcast. It's like, I mean, yeah, I like horror movies. You like horror movies. He likes horror movies. Let's see if we can make this work.
Hey, let's do this every weekend, all right?
Yeah.
With you? You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, I just think.
And anybody out there, if y'all want to get in like into a friendly debate, let me just tell you, if you get into that chat or get into one of those Zoom calls, like you're gonna be in a debate of your life because everybody is either going to agree or disagree, but we all gonna say I love you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like if you haven't been in a situation where you had to correct yourself or come correct when you got Leah on one side and Mike on the other side, God bless you. They about to rip. They about to tear your ass up, and I'm just gonna be in the background, changing my background because I'm not about to help you. If you come in here, I'm gonna tell you right now, these people are outgoing. They are hilarious. They can be ghetto, but they know they shit. And if you come in there talking some bullshit, they will correct you real quick, and I will go on mute and start laughing. I might even not even mute myself and just start laughing. But I'm gonna tell you, none of them take shit personally or whatever. It's just crazy how we just get along like that. But you gotta know your shit because they'll hit you with a joke, and then they'll hit you with, but in 1877, and I'd be like, there they go. Y'all better watch out. They got the books out. They got the book because they know they shit. These are intelligent, hood, beautiful black people. And they will, they'll joke with you and tear your ass up at the same time. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Peabody. He the one that brought us all together, and he barely be there. And he know why.
That is true.
He pop in every now and then talking about, I'm reading this book. Put that book down.
I'm going to class in like 10 minutes, but I just want to hop on real quick and say, hey.
It's a pandemic. We know you at home. We know you at home. Don't nobody go to school 24 hours out of the day. And usually it's late at night. You know what I mean?
Oh man. No, yeah. It's thank you. Thank you so much. I really tried to make sure that above all else, like get an understanding, and that's where
a lot of people will misunderstand your rebuttals or your questions because they might see it as a sign of like you trying to make them feel like they're stupid. When all honesty,
right.
you just asking a question. Like I can go in the chat right now and be like, I put the peanut butter on first and then the jam. And then Leah would be like, but why? And I'd be like, well, I never really thought about it like that. It's just that I was born. And then if you explain it, if you own your shit, then she'd be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's interesting. Or even if she don't agree, she'll be like, I don't agree, but that is interesting. And then you just leave it at that. But some people be like, well, why are you asking me that? Nigga, we just want to know why. This is how you start and continue a convo, a dialogue, whatever,
right.
small talk, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So again, you come in there, don't be on that bullshit. We all love each other in there. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, a lot of people have met each other in person. We all got respect for each other. We've been on each other's platforms or are about to be.
Yeah.
So we're cool. So in other words, we'll jump you.
You gonna get your licks in?
Yeah, I'm for sure gonna get some kicks in. I can't call myself a Los Angelinos if I don't. I gotta jump in somewhere.
Oh man, no, but it's been all love, and I've been really appreciative of it, and the support that when you find your community, the support that you get feels amazing. Like you can't even imagine it. But I just want to thank you so much for Baylor coming through. Y'all make sure y'all check out not only Black Horror Humor that I co-host with Baylor the Great and Drake or Mrs. D713 of Everything Culture, but Open Run with BTG and Baylor the Great for President. And I'm going to get it and make sure that I say Open Run because I don't know why I want to keep saying On the Run.
We already talked about this. We know why. We know why.
But Open Run with BTG, I feel like when y'all listen to his content, it's just, I don't know, like I have a different appreciation for it, especially knowing as a Black man, a lot of times it's hard to express not feelings, but your thoughts or the way you understand the world to other people, because there's a lot of meta understanding that's happening so that the messages can get across in a way for other people to understand. So what I like most about the platform is just getting to know you through different events. Yeah. And how you process those events. So y'all make sure to support my friend, my partner, my compadre in the podcast family.
And we're astronaut partners too.
Ooh, yes. Oh yes. Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
I'd be feeling great.
Beam me up.
Well, thank you so much. Y'all have a great one. We will see you next year. This is the last episode of 2020. So we'll be back. I'm not sure if we'll be live, but follow us at Take Up Space Pod. That's Take Up Space POD on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we'll be sure to let you know whether or not we'll be going live this Thursday. But if I don't see you then, make sure y'all have a great new year, and we'll see you in January.
And keep the lights on. They don't know. They got to find out.
Yeah, find out why we say keep the lights on.
They got to find out.